heavy as steel. Today, the juniors and sub-juniors step forward. Not just to lift the bar, but to lift the limits of what the past dictated. Bar is loaded. Deep breath, a steady gaze, and with every attempt, a story is written. Cheer them on, for every lift is more than weight. It is courage in motion. Now, a chance at history for the next lifter. As they attempt to lift more than any junior has ever done, let's raise our voices, for this is power, this is passion, this is the future. As the final bar returns to the ground, we salute these young warriors of strength. Each lift, a promise, each effort, a victory. Thank you, Costa Rica, for the energy, the spirit, and the pura vida that makes these days unforgettable.
Good evening and welcome to the 2025 IPF World Junior Powerlifting Championships here in San Jose, Costa Rica. I am Amelia Potter, joined by French coach Charlotte Perrault. Good evening.
Good evening, Amelia, and thanks for the invite.
It's a pleasure to have you. It'd be great to have some insights, of course, from a coach's perspective as we head into a Sub-Junior 69 session, which looks to be pretty exciting. The World Sub-Junior squat record is at 180, and we can see here an opener at 175 and an opener at 177.5, so already pretty close to that with openers.
Yeah, and also in the total, I'm sure it's going to be a great battle.
Yeah, absolutely. It will certainly be a fight. They're pretty close at the top, so they won't have any room really to mess up, or I'm sure the coaches will do their thing and try to capitalize on it. But a lot of good lifting to come. It's just one flight this evening, so we'll have 20-minute breaks in between disciplines, and every ranking you see moving around for squat, bench, or deadlift will be as they stand. We won't have to wait for another flight to follow. And we kick off the competition now, counting down to our first lifter, who, as you can see up on the board, will be Natalia Morgan from New Zealand.
And time is out, and away we go.
Natalia has a personal best of 117.5 kilos, opening here on 115.
It's crazy to see how many lifters only have 1 year of experience and are already on the international platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so interesting with sub-juniors because so often, like you can see with Natalia, they open so close to their max because they are continuously growing and getting stronger very quickly.
Looks like there will be a new personal best today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as you said, it's great, but it's also more difficult for coaches because you never know what you have in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely, because not just the coaches don't know how strong they are, sometimes the lifters don't either. Also from New Zealand now, Alice Davies, opening on 120 kilos. Strong looking opening attempt for Alice and a good lift.
New Zealand brought a big team this year. It's great to see them nearly on every flight.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of their sub-juniors have been picking up records and medals all around. Essi Narva from Finland, coming out for an opener of 125 kilos. She's just 16 years old, but already has 3 years competing experience, which is a lot at her young age. So although one of the younger lifters in the flight, one of the more experienced in competing.
Oh yes, it's the only one from 2009 actually. That was quick.
Yeah, and handles it like a much older lifter. 3 white lights.
The level is increasing so fast in the sub-junior that usually you see many last year sub-juniors, so it's crazy to have years before. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, she's by far the youngest. Everybody else slightly above, 17 and 18. Now have Ruby Olthoff from Australia, 127.5 for her opening attempt. Three white lights, a good lift. Very confident opening attempts there.
Yeah, and we've seen clean lifts so far.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, and sometimes sub-juniors are still figuring out their form, so it's really nice to see lifters like Ruby who have a very good assured technique. Olivia Hoody from Canada, 135 in the bar.
Her PB is 148.5, so she must have the record in Canada.
Yeah, so as Charlotte said, if you see anything not in an increment of a 2.5 kilo jump, it would have to be a record somewhere.
That was easy too.
And it is a good lift. Yeah, great to see the coaching teams and the athletes choosing opening attempts that not only can boost their confidence a little bit, but means they have places to go for their second and third attempt.
The first squat is always the most stressful of the competition, so if you can do it and be confident for the rest of the competition, that's better.
100%. Let's hope that is the case for Kirk-Reen Laugen from Estonia, who's opening on 137.5. Three white lights, a good lift. Always a good sign when a lifter's coming off their first attempt with a big smile on their face as well.
Yeah, and we see some big jumps. The Canadian is doing a 10 kilo jump, which is a lot for this category, so she must feel very confident.
Yeah, not just the category, but also the age group.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naya Gambi Hansen from Denmark, opening on 147.5 kilos. Another lifter who looks to have a national record in the juniors at home.
And she's also an experienced lifter. It's been 3 years for her.
Yeah, lovely opener, very narrow squat stance as well. That's 3 white lights.
Yeah, we see very different techniques.
Important for the lifter to find what works for them and their leverages as well. Claire Thomas from the United States, opening on 152.5, 10 kilos below her personal best.
Very easy too, and she's just 10 kilo away from her PB, so we might see a new one today.
Yeah, especially with an opener like that, can get away some of that stress and nerves. And I imagine on her third attempt she'll be looking for that personal best.
Probably, yes. And also this year it's a bit different because It happens often that worlds are in Europe, and so US lifters have different time zone. But this year they are in the right time zone, and it's harder for European lifters.
Yeah, for the first time in a very long time, the European lifters have had to travel, usually have the comfort of the same time zone and not so far travel. So we'll see how that affects lifters like Maria Ibanez Martin, 155, and looking strong so far. 9 kilos below her personal best. Seeing some great openers from these sub-juniors.
Yeah.
The bar is loaded.
Out next, one of the two lifters in a really strong position for the oval title. We have Lucy Norkova from Czechia, opening on 160 kilos. Actually, the two competitors in this flight fighting for that overall crown at the top are both Czech lifters. We have Jana Ročková as well.
There must be two teams in the bag then.
Yeah, both with very different goals. Or I suppose the same goal for different lifters.
Yeah. That was very easy. I'm sure they'll make a big jump after this.
Yeah, and they have the disadvantage of going before their competitor, but I'm sure it'll be back and forth between the two for the day. And they must have an idea of each other's strength more than international competitors, because they wouldn't know each other personally.
Yeah, they probably already fight each other at nationals, so.
Yeah, familiar with it. So Jana Ročková from Czechia on prognosis in the lead ahead of Norkova. 162.5 in the bar.
Just 5 kilos shy of her PB.
And it's a good lift, tougher than her teammates and a little tougher an opening attempt.
I wouldn't make such a big jump as her teammate.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a coach, what would you think would be a sensible decision here?
I think I'd put 5 kilo more, because 2 kilo is really little, but I don't think she has more than 5 for a second attempt.
Yeah, and then push and see where she can go for that third.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart idea.
Well, they want 7.5, so we'll see.
Could be a very good grinder, we'll have to see, or maybe something she can fix up. Martina Rivas from Uruguay, another strong podium contender here, 175 on the bar, opening 5 kilos above her personal best and 5 kilos below the world sub-junior record.
We've seen lifters from Uruguay PR a lot this week.
Yeah.
In the 66, the lifter was 20 kilo above his PB.
Wow. So definitely someone for the Czech teams to keep their eye on. Yeah, and I think we were both a little bit worried about the depth there, Charlotte.
Yes. She'll have to correct that for the second attempt.
Strength's definitely not an issue, but I think if the coaches want to keep her within reaching distance, they'll probably want to be safe and maybe keep the opener the same and make a slightly bigger jump.
Yeah, especially for young lifters, sometimes they need confidence and they're not confident enough to just go over.
And our final opening attempt, Zora van Lent from Belgium, 177.5 kilos, 2.5 kilos below the world sub-junior record, and there's only one place they can go from here. Already opening 5 kilos above her personal best. Let's see how this moves. The next step would be the world record. Wow, and it looks like she may extend that by quite some way.
And she looks confident, she's smiling, so she looks quite relaxed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, a world record isn't so scary if it's a weight that you're already quite comfortable with. And it looks like she is very familiar with 180 kilos on her back. And as we head into the second round of squats, all bar Rivas from Uruguay has a squat on the board. Just a little bit of depth issues there, strength non-issue whatsoever. Van Lent leading the squats 2.5 kilos below the world record, followed by Rojkova and Norkova as we head into the second round. 5 kilo jump for Natalia Morgan from New Zealand to 120.
2 kilo PB attempt.
Yeah, great place to be on your second round of squats. And not every lifter is here to podium and fight for podium. They have their own goals, their own records to take home with them.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a competition if we were only people looking for the podium. But she's gaining experience for the junior years too, so that's great. And this moved well, so it's a new PB, and she's probably going to put 2 or 5 kilo more next.
Yeah, and to get a 5 plus, 7.5 plus kilo personal best is huge. Alice Davies from New Zealand coming out now for 125, 5 kilo jump. And you spoke about Europeans having to travel quite a long way for the first time, but New Zealand is not a strange thing for them to have to travel. We quite literally are the other side of the world from New Zealand right now.
Yeah, and the time zone is very different, and also the trip to come is more than 30 hours for most of them, so it means you can't work out and taper as you would like to. It's not perfect, so...
Yeah, so all things considered, the way that she moved that second attempt, she's competing like a well-seasoned lifter.
Yeah, and in competition, you're not always looking for PR. Sometimes you're just looking to take what's here on the day, and that's how you gain kilos and you go up in the ranking.
Absolutely. Ruby Othoff from Australia, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 135.
Little bit of a misgroove in the hole, so that's, I think, why she got a red from the front for depth.
We'll be able to see it in the side angle a little bit easier. We're looking for the hip crease to go below the top of the knee joint, and I think she's just in there.
Yeah, it looks good from the side.
Yeah, and the jury seem like they're going to keep that. Essi Nava from Finland taking a 10 kilo jump to 135. Like you said, a pretty sizable jump for this age group and weight class.
She must feel very confident to do such a big jump.
And it moves well. It's a good lift, and she's our youngest lifter, but our lifter in this flight with the most years experience.
And she does quite a bit like equipped lifters, I find, because she goes very fast in the hole. I don't know if she's done equipped before or not.
Perhaps, and we can see where it starts to slow down. She gets a bit of momentum out of the hole, and it starts to get a lot harder when that slows down in the middle portion. Kirk Rienlaugen from Estonia, taking a 7.5 kilo jump to 145.
Actually, she's not the one who did the biggest jump, because the Belgian lifter is doing a 12 kilo jump, so it's
Wow.
huge.
But I suppose as the weight goes up, also the percentage changes, so we'll have to see the effect that has. This is just below Laugen's personal best. Yeah, and it looked like it is a strength issue there for Laugen, but she looked pretty confident after her opener, so what do you think happened here?
Let's watch the replay. She lost tension and she lost her bracing, so we'll see if she's able to correct it on her last attempt. But I would not go up.
No, nor would I. Definitely come back to try that again. Olivia Hoody from Canada, 145 on the bar, a 10 kilo jump. Like you said, she must be feeling pretty confident. This is 3.5 kilos below her personal best and Canadian record. in the sub-juniors.
She could be confident. This moves really well for a second attempt. I think she has 5 more.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably the goal for her today, is to take home a national record with her. Of course, at an international, she can't chip it, but she can definitely secure it to go home.
The bar is loaded.
Naya Gabi Hansen coming out now for Denmark. 10 kilo jump, another 10 kilo jump here to 157.5.
It's also the thing that if you take bigger jumps, you have, like, your first attempt is easy, so you don't lose energy for the second and third attempt.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still extremely comfortable for
Yeah.
her. Wow. And a good lift, and you can see why they made that 10 kilo jump. And some coaching teams and athletes just prefer to take an extremely conservative opener and make those slightly bigger jumps too.
And I know some lifters don't have the ability to grind 2 lifts, and they are basically doing their last warm-up on the platform.
Yeah, exactly that, especially when the flights move quite quickly and you don't have as much time in between.
Yeah, today we have a 13% flight, so it's big enough, but on the open, sometimes you have only 7 minutes in between attempts, so
It can be quick.
yeah.
Maria Ibanez Martin from Spain, 162.5.
She's really hyped.
It's a very tidy squat. Unfortunately, gets called for depth. It's a no lift. Let's have a look at that in the replay and tell me if you could argue the case for this. Like I said, we're looking for that hip joint to go below the top of the knees.
Yeah, it does look just a bit high, but a 2-to-1 call is what you'd expect.
Yeah,
But the strength was there, so she'll probably take it again and crush it on the last attempt.
Claire Thomas from the United States taking a 10 kilo jump here to 162.5.
This is exactly her PB, so we'll see if she's gained strength.
Yeah, and it looked very similar to her opening attempt actually.
Yeah,
She just got a yellow from the center of free. We'll have a look at the replay. Of course, we can't hear the commands.
could be the commands, or yeah, it can't be the elbow, so
And I think she should be fine with that. Jury seem happy.
The bar is loaded.
Jana Rajkova from Czechia, 170 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump for a new personal best.
the first attempt was a bit of a work, so we'll see how this one goes. She might have to grind.
She'll be trying to stay as close to her teammate as possible. Definitely harder. And I wouldn't want to see more than 2.5 perhaps go on there. What would you
Yeah,
say?
but she seems very stable, and that's something you look for, because if you lose balance, it's harder to grind, but here her feet are on the ground and that don't move at all, so that's great.
Yeah, it's a very solid looking second attempt. We now have our second Czech lifter out now, Lucy Norkova, taking a 10 kilo jump to 170. She's lighter than Rojkova, so this will move her ahead in the squat rankings. Wow.
This still looks very easy.
Yeah, night and day between the two second attempts there. Very, very different. It's a good lift, and it looks like a good opportunity for her to pull a little ahead of her teammate.
Yeah, but her teammate is being aggressive, but there's only 12 kilos in between lifters, so sometimes you change the strategy based on how much room you have behind or ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well worth keeping your eyes on that scoreboard all the way through. Martina Rivas from Uruguay retaking the 175, definitely the smart decision. And it was very comfortable, just
A
not
little
deep
bit
enough.
high.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just a little bit high. She just needs to sink it a little further. But now the pressure's on a little bit, and you can see it's got to her a tiny bit. But as long as she gets this on, she's well in the fight for a podium position. Unfortunately, 2 to 1 still not a good lift. The jury will review it. Let's have a look at this here in the replay. Yeah, and I've got to say it's about the same.
Yeah, and maybe her hips are not similar. It happens on some lifters that they have a hip lower than the other.
Yeah.
And that's why maybe she gets a white from the right referee, but not from the other ones. And the replay is on the left, so not good for her.
Hopefully she can convince at least the center referee next time round. Hopefully all three. But our final second attempt of this round, and already we have a world sub-junior record, as we thought might be the case. Zora van Lent from Belgium, 190.5 kilos. World record currently at 180, so looking to extend it by 10.5 kilos here on her second attempt.
This is also a 13 kilo jump, so
Yeah, her opener extremely comfortable. Ooh, but like you said, 13 kilos can still be quite a lot, and it's not always how you, it's not always where you go to, but sometimes how you get there. And they didn't necessarily need to make such an aggressive jump. The record was only 3 kilos or 2.5 kilos ahead of her opener. So what do you think the strategy was there?
I think they wanted to be aggressive for the podium, but it's high risk, high reward, and now there's no reward.
Yeah, I agree with that, and they have another shot of that on her third attempt, but I think if they do want a podium position, they're going to have to get that final squat in, otherwise they'll be fighting. But saying that, Rivas, who she'll be fighting with, at least now, still hasn't got a squat in, even as Martin's going to keep her eye out for that.
Yeah, so maybe other countries like Spain would have a shot at the podium if the Belgium and Uruguay lifter don't get their lifts.
Yeah, Spain, Denmark and the United States. So we'll see how that plays out. We head into the third round. Natalia Morgan, New Zealand, 122.5, taking a 2.5 kilo jump.
That was the right call, and there might be even a bit more in the tank, but now she feels confident for the rest of the competition, so that's great.
Yeah, and that's it. It's not just getting the lift, it's also not spending too much energy on that final attempt and letting the lifter move forward with confidence that they got all those 3 attempts, like you said.
Yeah, you'd rather grind a third deadlift than a third squat.
Absolutely, and give yourself the ability to, because you didn't grind that third squat.
Yeah.
Alice Davies now taking a 5 kilo jump to 130, also coming out for New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a great grind. The bar came to almost a dead still and still managed to get through it.
The left referee thinks the bar went a bit down. The jury is watching the replay right now.
Doesn't look like it dipped to me. What do you think, Charlotte?
It's right on the border, but as you said, when you dab, the lifter should get the white. So I agree with the jury. I would let the lift like this.
And it does, which is great to see. 140 kilos for Ruby Othoff from Australia, a 5 kilo jump.
Ruby's very wide stance squat. Depth looks good. She's grinding.
Yeah, another great fight there from Othoff. And 2-1 in good lift. That far side referee still thinking the bar dipped, so we'll have a look at the replay as the jury watch it as well. No, I think it's all good there as well.
Yeah, I think the left side is a bit twisting, so that might be the reason why she got a blue, but it looks good.
Retaking 145, we have Kirk Rienlaugen from Estonia. It just seemed a bit like a strength issue on the second, but we're hoping it's not.
Yeah, let's see if she can stay tight under the bar and keep her bracing.
Yeah, the bar rolled up her back a little bit as a result last time, so like you said, if she can follow that and tighten it up a little bit, she might be okay. No, I think just her hips shoot up a little too early.
Yeah,
at the
she must
half.
have lost energy fighting the second attempt.
And like you said before, when you come out of a missed lift, sometimes your mindset does change quite a bit, and it is harder to bring it back at times, and that comes with experience. Obviously, these are sub-juniors.
The bar is loaded. Esinava. Come on.
Esinava from Finland.
10 kilo jump again.
Yeah, and for a new personal best, so her PB currently 142.5, 145 is on the bar now for her. Our most experienced lifter of the flight.
Oh,
Yeah, but just hit the hole really hard there. She seems okay, which
yeah,
is
she
good.
seems smiling, joking, so that's good. And she still got 10 kilo jump from her opener.
Yeah, 10 kilos, I think, a bit aggressive, considering it definitely slowed down on her second and the technique she uses, but like you said, still 10 kilos on her opener. 152.5 for Olivia Hudi for a new personal best, a 7.5 kilo jump here. And we thought she might take that 5 kilo jump.
The Canadian team has been good so far, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 kilos would have secured that record, but looking to pick up a few extra kilos, not a bad thing at all.
She's quite a tall lifter for the group also.
And one of the lighter lifters as well in this class. Yeah, great attempt selection there from Team Canada.
Yeah, and also we don't know lifters, but coaches often ask lifters video of the training, so they know if the lifter is able to fight a lift or not. And we see very big differences in between lifters in a team.
Yeah. And a lot of sub-juniors as well, going back to her being quite tall for the class. You know, as sub-juniors, they do, and we recommend they do, just compete where they sit at in terms of weight. You know, we don't always want to see sub-juniors at such a young age doing aggressive weight cuts. Naya Gabby Hansen from Denmark, 165, a 7.5 kilo jump. A new personal best.
That's the thing you see with lifter with such a close stance, is that when knees cave in, they just touch and can't go further in, so sometimes it helps.
Yeah, and she utilizes that really well there. It's a great final attempt.
The bar is loaded.
And we can hear screams as Maria Ibanez Martin comes onto the platform for Spain. She didn't get that second attempt for depth. It's gone up 5 kilos anyway here, as she knows that she could push for that podium position, so looking to be a bit more aggressive.
She's just 6 kilos under the podium right now, so she needs that lift.
Again, strength is there, but is depth? No. Unfortunately not. I think about as deep as her second.
Yes, and now we'll see if she's able to concentrate again and not let this affect her too much.
Absolutely, which is hard to do, but there are 6 lifts left to go, and those are just as important as the ones you've missed, if not more.
Yeah, we've had the problem with a 66 sub-junior, and he finished on the podium with only 1 squat, so it's not over until it's over.
Absolutely. Claire Thomas from the United States, 167.5. Another lifter that could push for a podium spot overall. An extra 5 kilos certainly would help that.
5 kilo PB attempt. She's taking her time to set up.
A bit too much of a push, unfortunately. But they have to be aggressive. You know, they have to find that fine line between being aggressive and being safe, especially when so many of them are in the fight for the podium. 4 squats remaining. First up, we have Czechia's Lucy Norkova taking a 2.5 kilo jump, which I think is a sensible decision here. A couple of extra kilos could come in really useful, but
she was super easy on the second, so it's a bit weird to me to take such a small jump. Her teammate, who was harder, took a 5 kilo jump, so we'll see.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is either they timed out of getting that attempt selection in, or perhaps she just doesn't have much of a squat grind in her, but we'll have to see how this moves to answer our question.
Well, I guess you were right, Amelia. She doesn't know how to grind, and that was a perfect attempt selection. So that's why it's important to know the lifter.
Yeah, exactly, because the 170 that she did on her second, like you said, was very quick, looked very easy, but sometimes lifters just are quick until they're not, and the brakes come on hard and fast, and she managed to grind through that, but you can see the difference 2.5 kilos makes for her.
The bar is loaded.
In comparison to her teammate, Jana Ročkova, who is coming out now for 175, whose second attempt looked a little bit more challenging. However, perhaps she has a little bit more grind in her.
It looked like this. She did have to grind on her second attempt, so we'll see how the third goes.
And there it is. I think quite opposite lifters. It's a good lift. Because I think if you asked us out of the two who would get their third attempt, we would have put more money on Norkova than Ročkova. Obviously they both got it, but...
Yeah, of course. I would have made a smaller jump. Like, I would have probably finished with 170 for Ročkova, so...
It's important that they know the lifters, and that's why. Martina Rivas from Uruguay now really needs this to stay in the competition. If she gets this, she could still be in the fight for the podium, but if she doesn't get this, she will be disqualified from the competition and cannot post a total, but still can compete for individual medals should she choose to. It will also automatically give her squat silver, so all or nothing here, just needs to squat a bit deeper. Definitely looks better than the first two, but is it good enough?
Yeah, it does. 3 white lines.
And there we go. A huge sigh of relief from everybody in the crowd. A big cheer. She's on the board, and with 1 squat, still manages to collect squat silver on body weight ahead of Ročkova.
Yeah, and we can see that the 2 lifters from Czechia who got her third attempt are now have a higher prognosis total, so maybe they will secure gold and silver, but it will be a bigger fight for the third place.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of names in the hat for that third place, and one of which is our next lifter up, Zora Van Lent, who took a pretty aggressive jump. She could have chosen really any number in increments between 180 and 190.5. Team Belgium chose to be aggressive off the bat, and she missed it on what looked like strength, but hopefully she can get it back together here. 190.5 for a new world sub-junior record. This would extend it by 10.5 kilos. She already has squat gold, but this will help her in the fight for the podium and give her the new world sub-junior record. No, and it was just too aggressive.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's a conversation to have with whoever made that decision. I think perhaps if she was pushing for that, it's important for the coaching team to know what maybe is the safer decision.
Yeah, and they'll probably change the strategy for the rest of the competition to make her feel confident again.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's not out of the race for podium, but it certainly will be a bit harder. And after squats, Rojkova from Czechia in bronze. On bodyweight ahead of her in silver, we have Rivas. And in squat gold, we have Van Lent with 177.5. We're going to head into a 20-minute break now before bench press. We'll see you there.
See you.
And welcome back to the 2025 IPF World Junior Powerlifting Championships here in San Jose, Costa Rica. I am Emilia Potter, rejoined by Charlotte Perrault, French coach and Cat 1 referee. Thank you for joining me again, Charlotte.
Well, thank you, Amelia. The squats was very interesting, and I can't wait to see the bench now.
Yeah, absolutely. We obviously had a world record attempt from Van Lent and unfortunately just missed that. But we can see on the running order here, both Rojkova and Norkova opening at 105, the world sub-junior bench press record at 111 kilos. So excited to see where they end up. First out, we have Kirk Riina Laugen from Estonia, 60 kilos.
Very easy lift. That's what you want to see for an opener, to be confident for the rest of the competition, as we talked about in squat.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping to see from the rest of this flight, the other 12 lifters. Next up, Natalia Morgan, 70 kilos for her opening attempt.
The bar is loaded.
She's asking for a lift off and saying how she wants it. That's something important, because if you get a lift off that makes you not in the right path, sometimes it's harder than just self lift off.
Yeah, and you can't expect the spotter and loader to know exactly what you want, and it's worth saying it each time because they'll see a lot of lifters before you. That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Ruby Othoff from Australia, opening above her personal best by 2 kilos here with 75 on the bar.
She must have progressed in nationals, so that's great. And as we said, with sub-junior lifters, we do expect many PRs, more than juniors and open.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both young and very new to the sport. Yeah, and lots of progress it seems. She does get a red from the centre referee for elbow depth. We'll have a look at this in the replay here. And could you explain to us, Charlotte, what elbow depth we're looking for?
Oh, we're looking at both the edge of the elbow to be under the shoulder center. And here the bar wasn't even, so the left side was a bit higher and a bit too high for the center referee.
Okay.
It's harder to see when you're a side referee, so usually you see elbow depth from the center referee, and then jury looks and we wait and see.
But it seems like it will stay for Ruby. Olivia Hoody from Canada, 75 kilos. Yeah, so Olivia exhibiting really good elbow depth there. We can see her elbows in line with the middle of her shoulder joint. You can see that on the replay. It's a good lift.
And for now, we've only seen lifters doing a soft touch and no sink, which is sometimes harder to judge.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these lifters would have adjusted to the newer bench rule for elbow depth, using that sink.
Yeah, but most of the sub-juniors, they began lifting after the depth, but we're all lifters, I guess, Amelia.
Yeah, wow, the day has come. It's very true. 77.5 from Martina Rivas from Uruguay.
Also a 2 kilo PB on her first attempt.
Got a very close grip bench If you look here, almost near the smooth of the bar.
Yeah, she must have strong triceps.
Yeah, incredibly strong. Very clean, and not a bench grip that you see from a lot of, at least female lifters.
Followed by Davies and Narva.
Yeah, usually we can see this on men lifters if they have chest problems and if they've had chest strains a lot. It's better to get a closer grip, but for a sub-junior female lifter, I think it's quite new.
Yeah, absolutely. It works well for her though. Zora van Lent from Belgium, opening on 77.5 kilos. Yet another lifter opening above their personal best. And opposite to Rivas, she's using max grip on bench press, so absolutely as wide as her hands can get, and that looks good for her.
Yeah, and she must be a squat specialist because she was last in squat and now she's in the middle of the group for bench press. And we'll see if her coaches take smaller jumps in bench press rather than squat.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a middle ground now, I imagine. They tried to be aggressive on squat to try and push for podium, but now they'll have to keep making lifts, but maybe look to be more aggressive in deadlifts and keep it safe here in bench.
Yeah, they're doing only a 2 kilo jump.
Alice Davies from New Zealand, 82.5 kilos.
Doing a self lift off.
It just means that there's another variable that you can control yourself and you don't have to rely on a spotter.
Looks strong.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about the butt lifting, and then she gets an elbow depth call from the center right side referee. So we'll look for the elbow depth. I definitely saw the butt lift.
It does look high on the right side to me.
And that's the side that the side referee also called. So she's just going to have to adjust for that second.
She's far away from the podium, so I think if I were her coaches, I would just take 82 again.
Absolutely. There's no point in taking unnecessary risks at this point. Essi Narva from Finland, 85 kilos, just below her personal best of 87.5 on her opener. Very strong. This is usually the position you worry about elbow depth for, and yeah, that's exactly why.
High arch. She doesn't seem to understand what's on, and the coach is watching at the jury.
The bar is loaded.
It looks just on the border, but the jury agrees with the referees.
Yeah, so now 2 lifters without a bench on the board, and let's hope the trend doesn't continue now for Maria Ibanez Martin from Spain, 85 kilos.
She looks really calm compared to her squat. But bench is the lift you want to be calm and concentrated. You don't need to hype yourself up that much. It's a lot with technique.
Yeah, it's a very technical lift. It's got the most commands. It's something you just really need to be focused for. And that looked like a really technically efficient bench.
3 white lights. The referees agree. And also bench is hard because the pad plays a big role into your setup and into how you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a lot of lifters try to practice on a similar sort of bench, and those who can get a bit of an advantage doing so. 90 kilos now for Claire Thomas from the United States.
That's just 2 kilos shy of her personal best, so she'll probably try to hit a new one today. She must feel strong. That does look fast.
Yeah, extremely comfortable. Another elbow depth call though. We'll have a look at that in the replay.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, and jury are talking about it, but I think should be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna stay like this.
92.5 kilos for Naya Gambi Hansen from Denmark. Another lifter with a self-hand out there.
3 white lights, a good lift.
That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Now on to the 2 deck lifters, just 5 kilos shy of the world record. Well, 6 to be.
Yeah, to be technical, but you're right. So in terms of normal jumps, it's essentially a 5 kilo jump.
The bar is loaded.
The current record, as we said, 111. Rochkova and Norkova both opening at 105, and the first up to the platform is Yana Rochkova, who has a lower lot number.
She was the one able to grind in squat, so we'll see if this is the same in bench press or not.
Doesn't
That
look like she
looks
needs
fast.
to yet. Yeah, wow.
3 white lights, a good lift. Same weight on the bar for Lucy.
Yeah, that's a very comfortable opener, especially, as we said, considering it's 6 kilos below the sub-junior world record.
So, yes, we'll see if they want the record or if they want to secure 110, for example.
Yeah, they could always push for that on their third if they want to take that more sensible jump, but it depends how strong she feels.
Oh, she's looking at 112, so she wants the sub-junior bench press record as well as the single bench press world sub-junior record, which
Yeah.
is not the same.
And she also wants to push Norkova to have to make a slightly bigger jump too. But that 105 also very quick. Does get a depth call from the right side referee, so we'll have a look at the front angle at her elbows. I think she should be okay with that. Jury seem happy.
Yeah. Jury seems to agree with this, but oh no.
Oh no, they've overruled it, and I thought they would have moved on, but unfortunately, yeah, for Norkova is a no lift. We now move on to our second round with now 3 lifters without a bench on the board.
And that's why sometimes you want to go deeper than just on the line, because it relies a lot on the referees and on the jury. So if it's no depth, it's always better than 2-1.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, and clearly it's an easy enough weight for her. We'll see what she chooses to do for a second, but first, Kirkreen Laugen from Estonia taking a 5 kilo jump to 65 on her second attempt.
White lights, a good lift, 75 kilos.
That's a good lift, 3 white lights.
No personal best for her, but I think she's just taking what's here on the day, and that's good because that's what you want to do in international championships.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't lift more than you can on the day, and it's important to adjust and adapt with that. Natalia Morgan, 75 kilos, a 5 kilo jump, and this matches her personal best. And I'm sure you get sub-juniors and juniors come off the platform asking or demanding for numbers that you just don't want to put on and have to make that decision as a coach.
Yeah, but we see very different types of lifters. Some lifters don't even know what we put on the bar, and they're good with this, but some lifters want to know and control everything. And as a coach, you need to find a balance before forcing a lifter and just agreeing with him. That was a fight, but
yeah,
it looks good.
You look at that side angle with that yellow. A little worried about the glutes lifting.
But yeah, we'll see.
You see, she's a very angular hip there.
Oh yeah.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah,
Jury has overruled.
she have to try that again on her third if that's what she chooses to do. But we move onwards now to Ruby Althoff from Australia.
And yeah, as we were saying, that sometimes you gotta let the lifter choose and make mistakes, because if you break the confidence between the lifter and the coach, then you won't do anything after. And what's the most important is the trust between the lifter and the coach.
Absolutely, and a lot of lifters do many international competitions, so it's important to build it. Oh, unfortunately, a depth call from the center referee and a yellow from the side. So we'll watch the side angle if possible, because we know what the elbow will look like. Would you say that was a lift there?
It looks in contact to me, so
Yeah, one jury member arguing for, but if they're not in agreement, it won't be overruled, so it will remain a no lift. 80 kilos for Olivia Hoody from Canada, match personal best. Technically very good bench.
yeah, and elbow depth is there for sure.
That is a good lift. 3 white lights. Yeah, like you said, look at this elbow depth. Below even where she would need to be. Zora van Lent from Belgium taking a 2.5 kilo jump for a personal best here of 80 kilos.
She's nominated 6 for now, but she's at the same total as the 5th one, and just 7 kilo away from the 4th.
Yeah, and that could just be one missed lift for another lifter where she could slide in.
Yeah, I'm sure after her squat she wanted to make smaller jumps to gain confidence again.
Yeah, and if she gets all 3 benches in, she's heading into deadlift going, okay, I went 3 for 3, now I'm feeling confident, I can push a little bit and fight for that podium position. Now, one of our 3 lifters yet without a bench on the board, Alice Davies from New Zealand, 82.5 on the bar. A lot of lifters got caught on that elbow depth rule in the opener. See if she can amend that here in a second.
That's why you want to open low enough to be able to correct your technique if you want to. Self lift off.
It looked a little bit better. I'm hoping it's good enough. Still 2-1, a good lift. Let's see if it stays that way. We'll have a look at the elbows this time round. It seems to be a running theme of this session. And I'm not sure if it's that it's high, more so that she's wonky on the bench, maybe
Yeah,
one.
that's a problem, because if she was even, it would be perfect. Right now the jury seems to be okay.
Yeah, and
They seem to say it's right on the border. So.
I think that will stay as well. I think they agree with us that it's just a little wonky instead of high. So she gets that bench in. Martina Rivas now, a 5 kilo jump for a new personal best.
She's in a 3rd position now, so if she wants to keep it, she'd rather make safe jumps.
That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
She also seemed to be wanting to gain confidence because she only got 1 squat in and already 2 bends.
Yeah, and as that gets a bit harder, we'll say it's slowed down towards lockout, as is typical to a close grip, but she's looking really strong so far.
Yeah, usually close grip bench, it's either it moves fast or it stops fast, so
Yeah.
you'd rather be conservative with this kind of lifting.
Essi Narva from Finland, another lifter who got stung with elbow depth here.
She's experienced, even though she's young, so she'll probably correct it.
Yeah, she knows what she needs to adjust. I'm sure she's had to do that a lot over the last couple of years. Sinks it a little bit more to try and adjust for that depth.
And that's 3 white lights. It worked. That's what experience talk, to stay calm and confident.
Yeah, I was going to say you can see the extra 2 years really coming in useful there. She stayed calm and she just adjusted the way she needed to. Maria Ibanez Martin from Spain, 90 kilos in the bar, a 5 kilo jump. This would be for a new personal best.
She takes time to explain what she wants, and she's lifting with a belt, which is not the case of most lifters in bench press.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit more rare in classic. You see it a lot in equipped, but it just helps some lifters brace into their bench press. That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
She might want to go for a medal on the bench because she's 4th on body weight for now and just 2 kilo away from, 5 kilo away from the 2nd place.
Claire Thomas from the United States taking a 5 kilo jump to 95. 2.5 kilo personal best for Claire should she make this. Still very quick, does get an elbow depth call, and I think it was the same on her opener, but it remained a good lift then, so we'll have a look at the replay and see if that's the case here as well.
The bar is loaded.
The left one is definitely higher than the right one, but the jury seems to be willing to keep it like this.
Naja Gambi Hansen from Denmark taking a 5 kilo jump to 97.5, moves her provisionally into bench press silver for the time being, with 2 lifters to follow before the final round. And I think she might have just skipped the command.
Jump the command, yes, exactly.
And what would you do as a coach here, knowing it's not a strength issue, but just jumping the command? Would you stick with the 97? Would you choose to go up?
I really think it depends on the confidence, like we talked about, because some lifters will be willing to jump, and if they are willing to jump, I think she has more in the tank, so I would do so. But even if you think she has more but she doesn't feel confident, just stay.
Yeah, and I think she's fighting for a podium spot, so I think in terms of strategy it's a good idea, but in terms of confidence it has to be based off the lifter, like you said. Norkova now from Czechia, 105, just didn't get that elbow depth, so it was a comfortable weight, but needs to get this just a little bit deeper if she can.
Does look better for me.
And
Yes,
there we go.
that's it. And you see that's exactly the case what we were talking about. She kept the same weight. But it's even worse on the first attempt, because when you get an attempt in, you know you can continue to deadlift, but when it's your first attempt, you don't want to bomb out, so
Yeah.
you'll probably stay conservative most of the time.
Exactly, and you know she's pretty safe in silver for the time being, so she'll just want to get as close to Rojkova as she can. Rojkova coming out now, and we spoke about the jumps she might make, and as you mentioned before, she's chosen to take a 7 kilo jump, and this is to take the World Sub Junior bench press record and a single bench press record, like you said, 2 different records. The World Sub Junior currently standing at 111, single bench press at 111.5, so on her second.
The opener was very easy, and she was able to fight a lot in squat, so I'm quite confident for this.
Yeah, and hopefully that is the case. Of course, we saw a different story in the squats for Van Lent, so we'll see if this is a good jump for Jana Rojkova. 7 kilos doesn't seem excessive. We'll see how it moves for her for a new World Sub Junior record. Yeah, and that's a great second attempt regardless. And a good lift and a new World Sub Junior record.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't make such a big jump for the third attempt, but that still looked comfortable.
Yeah, now they've got the freedom to choose any number, you know, with any decimal.
And she's heavier than her teammate, so I'll probably do something just 500 grams above, like a 2.5.
Yeah, so
multiple.
13 or 13.5 perhaps.
I would say 15.5 because
15.5?
she still has some more.
Okay, and that'll be very interesting to see the jump that they make. Somewhere in between the two of us, they chose 114. So we're both, I'll say we'll both win that one. But now everybody's on the board. We can move through to the third and not worry about having to secure the total. Kirk Green Laugen, 70 kilos.
In classic, I think we see less bomb out than in equipped, and it's easier to correct the technique.
Yeah, equipped bench is definitely more tumultuous. You know, it can go one way or the other. And I think going into bench, they're aware of that, but much more rare in classic. Just a bit too much, and hindsight is 2020, but I think a lot of lifters and coaches could do better to utilize a 2.5 kilo jump sometimes.
Yeah, because when your 1RM is 65, a 5 kilo jump is nearly 10%, which is huge. It's not the same as a 200 kilo lift.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to take it into context.
Yeah, and sometimes even for training, you would use only 1 kilo increments because you really see the difference on women with a small bench.
Absolutely. Natalia Morgan from New Zealand retaking 75 here for her third attempt. Should be a match personal best.
The coach is looking at her butt to make sure she has good technique.
Yeah, just wants to keep the glutes down here on the bench. Reach that elbow depth.
As we talked, the pads can change many things.
Manages to get it up again, and it's much better this time. A good lift.
She was able to adjust. Also, all the benches in the warm-up room are not the same as on the platform, so you have to take this into account.
Yeah, it certainly can feel different if you're warming up on one bench and suddenly everything feels different again, like you said.
Yeah, sometimes the bench is hard or soft and higher or lower, and if you have a big arch, that changes a lot.
80 kilos on the bar for Ruby Othoff from Australia, retaking for a personal best.
Self lift off for Ruby. She must be used to training alone.
Two to one, a good lift. We'll have a look at that side angle, as usually when we see a yellow from the side, it's for a lift of some sort. And her feet are quite far back, so when the leg drive comes in, sometimes that can be the issue. But that looks okay to me.
Yeah, it does, and feet also look flat on the floor.
Zora Van Lent now. 82.5 kilos for a personal best.
2 kilo jump again. You can see when she sets up how the bench grips and it's soft. Right call here.
Yeah, 3 white lights, a great third attempt.
And also something you have to take into account is that it's a big group, so having around 13 minutes in between lifts is sometimes something you're not used to, so it's hard to stay concentrated and be ready for the next lift.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely something worth considering, you know, before a competition. Maybe look at the nominations and what that might look like for you. Olivia Hoody from Canada, 85 kilos, 5 kilo jump for another personal best. Her bench has been looking really great.
Looks like she had some more in the tank, but Team Canada is being conservative.
Yeah, 3 lifts left to go. You want to have a little bit of energy left in the tank for deadlifts.
Yeah, and looking at the replay, it was quite slow off the chest, but it finished fast. And it depends on the lifters. Some have difficulty at lockout, but some off the chest.
Alice Davies from New Zealand taking a 2.5 kilo jump to 85 for her third and final attempt.
Three white lights.
Yeah, great third attempt.
Team New Zealand putting the right numbers, and as we talked about it, Team New Zealand has team coaches, but some teams have personal coaches, and I think it does play a role into the choices of the bars.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, it is a completely different dynamic that you'll find between the two of them. 87.5 for Martina Rivas from Uruguay. 5 kilo jump for a 5 kilo personal best.
Close grip bench.
Yeah, it will certainly start to look harder towards lockout if she's able to.
Yeah, that's what we said. It was quite quick off the chest, but she couldn't get that triceps in.
Yeah, and I think even on her second it started to slow down a little bit, but it's such a difficult position to grind through.
Yeah, now she's still third, but only 7 kilos between the third and the sixth place, so it's going to be a huge battle in deadlift.
Yeah, it's going to be great to watch. Maria Ibanez Martin from Spain taking 2.5 kilo jump to 92.5. Second looked good, but it's important to, like you said, leave the event feeling confident and having a couple extra kilos if you can.
Yeah, especially as she missed her second and third squat on depth. That's a fight, but it does look strong. 3 white lights. She seems very happy, as well as her coach.
The bar is loaded.
Essi Nava from Finland now taking a 10 kilo jump to 95 for her third. Got pulled an elbow depth for her opener. Retook it, got it, and now maybe trying to make up some ground, which is a big jump.
Yeah, it is. She's probably looking at, well, she can't medal in the lift, so I don't really know why such a big jump, but she must be very confident. Yeah, a bit too much, like the squats.
Yeah, and like we said, it's important not just where you're going, but how you get there. You know, if she got her opener and then made a 5 kilo jump and another 5 kilo jump, it could have been a different story, but 10 kilos, you can really feel the difference.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said, and maybe her coach thought she had done more than 95 in training, so she did have 95 today, but it was not the case.
Naya Gabby Hansen retaking 97.5, and this is to provisionally move into bench press bronze with Claire Thomas to follow.
She's also a contender for the podium. And 3 white lights.
And yeah, you know, it wasn't the hardest third attempt, but when she's trying to build a big enough total, she is looking way past bench medals into medals overall, and that's what's more important.
Yeah, usually, except if you're far away where you can look at a bench medal. That was my case as a lifter, but usually you want to get 6 out of 6 and then just play podium or world title on the deadlift.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure we will see that. Claire Thomas now looking to knock Hansen off of the bench press podium, 100 kilos in the bar to move into bench press bronze. Another lifter who could be fighting for a podium position overall as well.
Yeah, 5 kilo PB attempt. Slow up the chest, but she can finish. Oh, she got called for butt.
Yeah, we'll have a look from that angle in the replay. And already the jury say no, her butt came off. Yeah, and it's a small amount, but you can see it.
That's why we get a light on the other side, because it's really difficult to see when you're a side referee. You have to look for this and for the feet on the ground and the elbow, so it's great to have the replay and to have the light.
Yeah. 110 kilos now for Lucy Norkova from Czechia. 5 kilo jump. She missed her opener and retook it, which we think is the sensible decision, and now is looking to jump 5.
Yeah, and we can see she's making a conservative lift, because she could go 7.5 and look for the world record, but she's not. It does look like the right number, and maybe she puts a fake opener in deadlift. We don't know, because we're looking at the subtotals, but we never know what changes can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And in subtotal, if Rojkova gets her last bench, only 5 kilos or 4.5 kilos separated, and Norkova is lighter. So like you said, a lot can change, and if Rojkova's to miss a deadlift, let's say, then Norkova could push her.
Yeah, on the prognosis, there's only less than 15 kilos, so you probably make that jump in between your first and second attempt.
Now, our final bench press, we have Jana Rojkova from Czechia jumping 2 kilos for a final attempt for a world sub-junior record to extend that she already hit on her second, making the jump somewhere in between the guesses that we made. So around about the spot we expected her to be in. That seems like the perfect number for her.
Yeah, I thought she had more in the tank, but I think it is the right number.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like we keep saying, it emphasizes how important it is for the lifter to know themselves and the coach to know the lifter as well, and that relationship between the two. And that is a new sub-junior world record. And in bench press bronze with 97.5 kilos from Denmark, Hansen. In silver with 110 kilos from Czechia, Norkova, and your gold bench medalist from Czechia with 114 kilos and a new sub-junior world record, Jana Rojkova. We're going to head into another 20-minute break now before we head into the deadlifts and the conclusion of the 69 kilo sub-junior ladies. We'll see you there. Hello and welcome back to the 2025 IPF World Junior Powerlifting Championships here in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm Emilio Potta, rejoined by Charlotte Perrault, French coach and IPF referee. Hello Charlotte, welcome back.
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you for hosting me for such an incredible session. We're going to be seeing some huge fights right now in deadlift.
Yeah, and if you look at the starting board there, we've seen Norkova has indeed upped her opener, and now her and her teammate are only separated by 1.5 kilos, so a huge battle to come up between the two of them.
Yeah, and even for the podium, the third place is only 12 kilo ahead of the 7th place.
Wow.
So it's going to be a huge fight.
Kicking us off, we have Natalia Morgan, 125 on the bar for New Zealand.
Natalia has been powerlifting only for 1 year and she made smart jumps so far, so she must be very happy with her competition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great start to a hopefully long powerlifting career.
The bar is loaded.
Alice Davies from New Zealand coming out for 140 kilos.
Mixed grip and very wide stance deadlift.
Followed by Logan and Thomas.
Yeah, we'll see an array of different deadlift stances and techniques as we go through this flight. Essi Nava from Finland coming out now,
The bar is loaded.
opening at 145 kilos.
She's the youngest lifter of this flight.
Yeah, still has 2 years left in the sub-juniors, but a couple years more experience than the rest of the flight, even though she's the youngest.
Solid opener. We'll see if the Finland team wants to do big jumps again.
Yeah, it's not worked tremendously well for them so far, so hopefully they've learned the lesson from that. But she's executed that very well.
The bar is loaded.
Kirkarine Laugan from Estonia, 160 kilos on the bar.
Her personal best is 176, so we'll see if she goes for a new one today, or maybe not.
It is unfortunately a no lift. No lift.
Unfortunately, a no lift. Referee's not quite happy with the lockout on the side, and center referee yellow, so either for the down command or maybe letting go of the bar too early. We'll have a look. Either way, it's a no lift. Yeah, must have been for skipping that down command. Claire Thomas from the United States, 160 kilos on the bar.
She missed her third bench for butt lift, but she's still in a race for the podium. Taking her time to set up. Very easy lift.
Same weight on the bar.
If she does a 10 kilo jump, she could be third at the second attempt.
Yeah, and that's really how close it is. There's 4 or 5 lifters who could be in a fight for that podium position, so every kilo really does count and matter. Zora Van Lent from Belgium, 160 kilos.
Team USA doing a 12 kilo jump. does look very easy. Zara has had a bad day in squat, missing the world record 2 times, but she did a solid bench and she looks in shape for deadlift.
Yeah, and it's definitely made the job a little harder for her fighting for podium, but it doesn't mean that she's out of the race at all.
The bar is loaded.
Naya Ganby Hansen from Denmark coming out now, opening on her personal best of 162.5 kilos.
That looks very easy.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, extremely comfortable opening there. Secures her total and has plenty of room to go for her second and her third attempt if they make sensible decisions there. Ruby Othoff from Australia, opening on 162.5 kilos.
It's harder when you deadlift first because you have to talk before the other, so sometimes you don't really know what to put, but
3 white lights a little bit. 160.5 stays on the bar for Olivia Pune, followed by Iranis.
That's a good lift, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
162.5 for Olivia.
Yeah, it is a good lift. She's been lifting very well and confidently throughout the whole competition today.
Yeah, and she might be a bit far away for the overall podium, but maybe she's gonna try to get a medal in the deadlift. All the girls are so close.
Yeah, we'll see where she ends up there. Maria Ibanez Martin
Bar is loaded.
out next for her opening attempt of 167.5 kilos. That's a personal best of 174, so a junior, sub-junior Spanish record, I imagine there.
Three white lights.
170 kilos on the bar for Martina Rivas.
I think she wasn't as easy as the previous lifters, but we'll see what the coaching team thinks.
The bar is loaded.
3 deadlift openers remaining. First up is Martina Rivas from Uruguay, 170 kilos on the bar. Well in the fight for a podium position still.
Very fast lockout. Also a contender for the podium and 3 white lights for her.
175 on the bar for Diana Arroyo from Congo and Oregon.
If she wants to be conservative, she'll probably put 180 to stay just ahead of Hansen's second attempt.
Jana Rojkova from Czechia opening on 175 kilos, and as we alluded to before, Rojkova and Norkova extremely close now, so Rojkova still just ahead. Heavier than Norkova, but has the chip advantage from that bench press.
Yeah, but Norkova is doing the deadlift after, so she'll have the choice of the number.
Very patient off of the floor there. It's a good lift. And we saw that she has a good grind in squat, so I think it's too early to judge how hard or easy that was for her.
Yeah, exactly. but she wasn't able to be that slow in bench press because we've seen the difference with the 2 kilo jump between the second and the third attempt.
And our final opening attempt, upped her opener from, I think it was 167.5 before.
Yes, exactly.
So you mentioned before, maybe that's not her real opener, and you're absolutely right. You can see they upped it to 180 here. 19 kilos of the world sub-junior deadlift record. The total record at 480, so both getting quite close to that as well. Let's see how the 180 moves for her. 5.5 kilos below her personal best.
That was very fast. Noshkova made a 7 kilo jump, so the Czech team will probably do a 10 kilo jump to be ahead at the start of the, well, at the end of the second attempt.
Yeah, I would imagine that's the sort of jump they'd make. She's more than capable of a 10 kilo jump. We have seen her go from a very quick lift to a no lift very fast, but we'll see if that translates into deadlifts as we move into our second round. Laugen still not quite on the board yet. Natalia Morgan from New Zealand, 132.5 for her second attempt.
A bit of the fight at the start, but strong lockout.
Yeah, and there's a good lift, 3 white lights.
The bar is loaded.
Alice Davies from New Zealand out next. A 10 kilo jump to 150 to match her personal best.
Alice has had a bit of a hard time in bench press, missing her first attempt, but now she's on the board.
Two to one, a good lift. Centre referee not entirely happy with the finishing position, but we get a better angle of that lockout here.
Also, her belt is not even, so maybe that's the buckle of the belt on her right side that is pushing her shoulder front. 10 kilo jump again for Finland and Essi Nova.
Yeah, this will match Nava's personal best.
Let's go. Come on. Come on.
And that is a good lift. Definitely starting to look a little more difficult now.
Yeah, I wouldn't make a 10 kilo jump again. Maybe 5, but not much.
Especially to end on a good note and the competition on a high. Kirkarin Laugen from Estonia now. Doesn't yet have a deadlift on the board, which means she hasn't yet secured her total. She's chosen to go up 10 kilos anyway to 170.
Right now, 170 in the is the bronze medal in deadlift, so I guess that's what she came for, because in total she's 11th.
Let's see if she can get on the board with this for a chance of a deadlift medal, but needs to secure that total as well.
3 white lights. Definitely a bit of a fight, so maybe 175 or 177 would be a good call.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to pace herself to her top end while looking at the scoreboard of what she might need. Zora van Lent from Belgium, 170 kilos on the board. And we're going to see the overall rankings jump around a lot in the next 10 minutes or so, so I'll get back to that when we're in the final round. Still very comfortable.
Yeah, now Zora has to fight. It would have been easier with the second and the third squat, but she's still looking for the podium, and right now she is third. Here we can see different strategies. Some team prefer to go for the podium on the second deadlift, while some stay behind and will probably go all in on the third.
Yeah, an example of that, Naya Gambi Hansen from Denmark here. This pulls her into third, and she has a lot of room left.
Yeah, but Thomas from USA is not going for the third place right now, so she'll probably try it on the last attempt.
Yeah, and as she has a slightly bigger deadlift than a few of them, she'll get to see what they do and the jumps they make as well. Ruby Olthoff from Australia, 172.5.
She was nearly a sumo squatter, but she's a conventional deadlifter.
Yeah, very opposite positions. Works well for her though. A little slower towards lockout, but a very solid second attempt. Oh, but unfortunately, blues from the center and side referee. Have a look here. I'm guessing for its supporting on the legs.
Yeah, just before lockout, I think. Let's watch the replay. Yeah. The jury think it's a good lift, and that's great to see the jury overrule into a good lift.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it go in two parts, but I wasn't sure the legs assisted her there, and I'm glad that the jury also think that.
Yeah, that's something we see into conventional. Sometimes just after the knees, people try to push the knees front, and it looks like tight support, but it's sometimes not.
Claire Thomas from the United States, 172.5. Takes it into deadlift bronze right now, but like you said, it puts her within distance of the podium, but just waiting out right now to see what everyone else does.
She's also the lightest of the podium contenders. She's only 66.68 kilos.
12.5 kilo jump from her opener, so still a sizable jump to match her personal best. And already that looks like it's too much.
Yes. Might be difficult for her today. She's missing the 5 kilo jump of bench press also.
Yeah, and it definitely made that job harder to catch up with the other podium contenders. And with that, it might be USA out the race for a medal.
The bar is loaded.
Maria Ibanez Martin from Spain, 175.
The first attempt was already quite a fight, so we'll see how much she has today. Very high lifter.
Yeah, just
Very
that lockout.
fast from the floor, but she couldn't lock out.
Which is a little rarer in the sumo. Normally you see quite slow off the floor with a little bit of a faster lockout, but yeah, just got right up to the hips there and couldn't get them through. Lost balance, it seems, so maybe she can come back and get
also.
that. Olivia Hudi from Canada, taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 175. This will move her into deadlift silver for the time being, with Vivas to follow.
Very easy lift.
And that's a good lift, 3 white lights.
Now we'll see if Team Canada puts on a real attempt or if they just fake attempt and wait and see to go for the podium
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
deadlift.
I think that's probably what they're aiming for now, is a deadlift medal, especially with all the other athletes pushing for overall, perhaps not worrying about the deadlift medal as much. Martina Rivas from Uruguay, a 10 kilo jump to 180. This pulls her into third overall for the time being, and deadlift gold.
We can see already we're nearly at the end of the second round, and we had 6 contenders for the podium, and now it seems to be only 3 left.
Yeah, it's changing very quickly, but Rivas looks like she's keeping her name in the hat there. And it's harder for them because first and second place is already secured by the Czech lifters, so it's only one position on the podium they're fighting for amongst a few of them.
Yeah, usually the first rule is you secure the podium and then you don't really care about being second or third, you go for gold. But here we can see there are really 2 groups, like first and second battle and then the third place battle.
And in the battle for first, Jana Rajkova from Czechia, 182.5, moves into deadlift gold and keeps her in gold overall, with Norkova to follow.
Not that easy on the first lift.
But just like her squats, she can keep on grinding through. And that's a good lift.
Yeah, now she has to make really a smart attempt selection.
Yeah, because she will be pulling first, but we saw in the squats, Rojkova with a really good grind, and Norkova jumped off very quickly with her abilities to grind through. So if it's similar in deadlift, it's a big question mark what we're going to see, but I think we'll have to wait and see what Norkova's second attempt looks like to be able to give any answers.
Yeah, but and coaches have to speak right now, so they have to put the higher number they think the lifter has, which is 5 kilo more according to them.
We'll see how this moves for Norkova as we head into the third round. Following that, Lucy Norkova from Czechia, 190 on the bar, a 10 kilo jump, landing a 9 kilos off of the world sub-junior deadlift record, both of them within kilos of the total record.
That might be the goal depending on what happens.
Her opener was very comfortable.
Yeah.
And so is the second.
A bit slower at lockout, so I think right now I would just make a 5 kilo jump to secure gold after Rojkova, but if she misses, then there's a chance to go for the total or for the deadlift world sub-junior record.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Rojkova is ahead of Norkova. Sorry, Norkova's ahead of Rojkova.
Yep.
And so going to that third round, because she's got the bigger deadlift, she can wait and see what Rojkova does. And then, like you said, put on what she needs if she misses, and put on what she needs if she doesn't. So we'll see how that pans out now as we head into that third and final round. 140 in the bar for Natalia Morgan of New Zealand for a new personal best.
In deadlift and in total. She's smiling.
A great end to the day, Natalia.
That's what we want to see, people smiling and happy of the competition, especially when you don't go for the podium, just go 9 for 9, have fun and gain experience.
Yeah, it's very easy, I think, to forget to have fun, but you know, gain that experience, go with goals for yourself. You know, not everyone's going to be in that battle for first, so take what you can from the experience.
Yeah, enjoy the atmosphere. The room is nearly full, so that's great.
Alice Davies from New Zealand, 155 kilos, a 5 kilo jump for a personal best on deadlift.
And we can see there are already attempt changes. Oh, 5. A bit too much for today.
But a great effort and a great fight from Davies nonetheless.
We can see there are already attempt changes from Team Belgium to go on the podium.
Yeah, and she's got one of the lighter deadlifts. Although the deadlifts are very close in the flight, she has to go first and just Team Belgium put in the limit of what they think she can do. Essi Nava from Finland, 160 kilos for a 5 kilo personal best on deadlift and on total.
As we said, she made a smaller jump.
Yeah, this seems like about the right place that she'd want to be. And I think that was the perfect call.
Yeah, and she must be happy to get a third attempt as she didn't get one in squat and bench. Good way to end the competition, and she'll probably place higher next year as she's the youngest of the comp.
Yeah, a lot of these girls are going to be aging out, and she'll be right at the top of the flight.
Claire Thomas is not going for the third place, so she'll probably just try to place the highest possible for the team points.
Yeah, and for the time being, this will put her into 5th overall. It will also still give her a 5 kilo personal best, should she get this.
And in the meantime, we had an attempt change from Spain.
It looks much better this time round.
Yeah, she's smiling. 3 white light, is happy.
Yeah, that's a new total personal best for Claire.
Maria changed and is trying her second attempt again. She was very, very fast off the floor, but she couldn't lock out.
Yeah, and instead of pushing for a higher position, instead she's retaking it, hoping to take home a sub-junior Spanish record. It currently is with her 174, so looking to get a 1 kilo personal best here. Very speedy, as you said, right up until the lockout where she struggled and lost the balance a bit as well. And that's way better.
Yeah, and she looked a bit more calm than on the second attempt, because that might be a problem when you get too hyped. You lose control of the lift.
Yeah, and you can tell that meant a lot to her to get that. So a great way to end the day.
Yeah. We didn't mention, but the next lifter is only 63.5 kilos, so she's the lightest of the flight. And with, as we said, with the 180, she tries to go on the podium in deadlift.
Yeah, this will take her to deadlift bronze for the time being. Took a risky chance of going up after missing her opener, but it worked out in her favor.
Just a little bit too much.
Yeah, and I think she knew that it was going to be a 50-50 shot there.
Yeah, but she was placing already low, so she had nothing else to do.
And the bar is loaded. This is the jumping
The fight for the podium now.
Yes, we have Zora van Len from Belgium, 180 kilos, and this will pull her into bronze overall, provisionally, still with some other lifters yet to follow to try and push her off that place. But she can just pull this and do what she can and then sit in the wings and wait to see where she places.
Low on the floor, knees.
But but not there today, and it looks like that means she is out of the race for the podium.
Yeah, she is now, and that's what we talked about, the attempt change, because she only got one squat in, and with 5 kilo more in squat, or 7 more, it would have been a very different situation. But she'll probably learn from this, and she can still do Europeans.
Absolutely, that's just in a few months' time, so even time to add some more kilos to that total. Now another lifter going for that podium position, Naya Gambi Hansen from Denmark, 182.5, a 10 kilo jump to pull her into deadlift silver for the time being, but more importantly into bronze overall for the time being.
She was very easy on the second. Oh no, just a little bit too much.
And it's not just the weight, you know, it's the pressure of knowing that you're pulling for the podium, which can make a huge difference.
Yeah, and they also chose to go higher than what they needed, because they only needed a 2 kilo jump to go across Uruguay, but they thought the lifter had more, so they made a bigger jump, and it was a bit too much for today.
Yeah, and it gave Rivas now the freedom to drop her final attempt. First out, however, Ruby Othoff from Australia, 182.5, to give her a shot at a deadlift medal. Unfortunately, very close, but just not quite there today.
We have an attempt change again. Canada's dropping.
Yeah, and they probably see with all of these misses, they have a better shot of getting a deadlift medal if they secure their third.
Yeah, exactly. For the time being, that would put her into deadlift silver.
182.5 is a 7.5 kilo jump for Hudi, and she's been lifting so well and so consistently today. The second of 175 was really very nice. So for one last pull of the day and a shot at a deadlift medal, here is Olivia Hudi from Canada.
Her lifts are very clean, and she was very fast on her second attempt.
I think that was the right number for her as well. Again, very well executed. A good lift.
The legs were starting to shake, so perfect. Now all she needs is to wait.
Yeah, that pulls her into provisional deadlift silver, and if the next lifter is to miss their attempt, she's at the very least secured a bronze. And she won't have to wait too long to find out, as Martina Rivas from Uruguay comes out next. They dropped their last attempt, currently sat in bronze, actually has bronze secured.
Yeah, so she's just looking to go for the podium in deadlift.
Yeah, so your bronze medalist overall, Martina Rivas from Uruguay, 185, now looking to pull into deadlift silver provisionally, knocking off Hudi from the deadlift podium.
And that's what we said, that it's not over until it's over. She nearly bombed out in squat, and right now she's secured a bronze medal overall.
Yeah, she played the long game, and it definitely worked out for her. And doesn't get that deadlift medal, but did secure that overall medal on a less than perfect day, which is a huge win for Rivas.
Now the fight for gold, and as we talked about, Norkova is going 199.5, so she thinks her teammate will not take her third attempt. If she does, she will have to drop, but she's picking last, so...
It absolutely could be a placeholder. I think if Rojkova was to get this, we'll see a drop, and if she doesn't, they'll keep it. Jana Rojkova from Czechia, her last attempt to pull into the pole position, 187.5, more than she's lifted before. She's got a great grind in her, but can she find another gear now to try and walk away sub-junior world champion today? hit the floor. The grind is there yet again, and she manages to lock it out. 3 white lights, a good lift, pulls into position, and we've seen the attempt change come in that I think we expected.
Yeah, of course. Now her teammate can't go for, well, it would be too risky. She could go for a junior record, but it's more important to get a world title.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, if Rochkova was to miss that, she definitely would have kept that in. But looking to take the world title away from her teammate now. They'll be teammates again in a few minutes' time, but for now, they are opponents. Lucy Norkova, 195. 190 was very quick, but we thought that on her squat, so we'll have to see if she can focus up, get into another gear, and not let the pressure get to her. The bar is loaded for Lucy Norkova. 195, already has deadlift gold. This is to give her the world title, and she is so hyped up. You can see the emotion already.
She wants it.
She does. She wants it. The gold goes to Czechia, but is it Rochkova or is it Norkova? This lift will determine it all.
And that's where you want to find the right balance between being hyped and staying with a good technique. She's taking her time.
And there it is. I think it's good. And it is 3 white lights, and she is your new sub-junior world champion, and look how much it means to her. She was an underdog coming into this and ended up on top.
Yeah, the team made exactly the good calls throughout all the competition, so that's great.
And an excellent competition at that. Your bronze medalist, Martina Rivas from Uruguay with 437.5. Your silver medalist from Czechia, Jana Rochkova with 476.5. And just 2.5 kilos under the world record total in the sub-juniors with 477.5. From Czechia, Lucy Norkova. We're going to head into the medal ceremony now, so please do stick around and join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. local time for the junior 69 kilo women. We'll see you there.
See ya.
silver medal with 110 kilos goes to Lucy Norkova. And the bench press gold medal with a new sub-junior world record of 114 kilos goes to Yana Roykova. Thank you, congratulations. In the deadlift event, with 182.5 kilos, the bronze medal goes to Olivia Houdet. The silver medal with 187.5 kilos goes to Yana Roykova. And the deadlift gold with 195 kilos goes to Lucy Norkova. Congratulations. Thank you. In the total results in the 69 kilos sub-juniors, bronze medal with 437.5 goes to Martina Rivas, Uruguay. The silver medal with 476.5 kilos goes to Yana Roykova, Czechia. And your 69 kilo sub-junior world champion with 477.5 kilos for Czechia is Lucy Norkova.